They always forget. They always forget. Like a lot of you don't know how many people are on this Medicare plan. Not everybody can afford private health care.
So now they're saying that, say bye bye to Obamacare, it could go away. Um, I mean, when we think about the education, wasn't Florida fighting to get the history books out of there, and they got them out of there permanently, right?
But they were trying to ban Pulitzer Prize winners. Do you understand? Since when in the history do Pulitzers not be considered recommended reading?
Oh my goodness. Uh, Kids are the number one reason for poverty. Wow. Um,
They are. Kids are the number one reason for poverty, and for most people, all it takes is one baby. That's why Freakonomics said it. Not everybody's supposed to be a mother. Not everybody's supposed to be a father. And you know what's crazy? They always look for the mother when these girls be throwing their babies away. They never look for the man.
right. It's the mistress who has to birth a baby, and those cheating husband in corporate areas pay that support. They know that's why they create what they say, creating the band.
Here,
They want more white babies.
child, them
So
women.
right there, let's answer that. Do you think that there's a crisis in the white community as far as like population?
Of course, they've been had this issue since the war on drugs. Because look who was the number one user of that substance. They
Um,
let us say it's the black community, but it was their daughters and their sisters and their mothers and their wives out here turning tricks for that hard rock.
well, listen here. Um, Lord knows. You said you should hear Milagro Station here. The first 10 minutes is pure ignorance, mocking and laughing. Mind you, this lady has two daughters. Shaking my head. So sad. Can we talk about that? Some women that kind of went against um, girl code, woman code, just common sense as I mean, as a woman. Be, well, maybe I should let you speak on that because you're a natural born woman. How do you feel about that, Couture?
They never want to see a woman. It didn't matter if it was Sarah Palin, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris. It don't matter. They either underqualified, overqualified, but they have no problem voting in the same five men. To me, they love these old, decrepit men. They love to talk about President Joe Biden and Sleepy Joe, but they're going to go get his homeboy, who's if not the same age, older. And then look at some of these people in these seats. They can barely walk, barely stand up, barely talk. They have lost a sense of what's going on with us. They don't know. They're already set in their ways. And it's like I expect nothing less because when you got a whole bunch of men this mocking this man, like attacking her policies is one thing. Her vagina was not up for debate. Her vagina was not up for debate. I don't care if she was spreading it high and wide and slept with every man to get a position. She is a married woman. Y'all did not respect her like a married woman. And then it's like, oh, since when did y'all have high morals and principles? Because last time I checked,
That's a
homeboy
lot
here
right
was
there.
out here partying with Diddy, Epstein, and the rest of them. So what? I hate when we pick and choose and we try to like, oh, well, don't, and I hate it on both sides.
Mhm.
That's why I say I stick to the policies, what is good for me. And I know at hand when you want to cut something and do something over here, what is that going to look like? A lot of you don't even like doing the jobs at your job, but you're talking about some migrant took your job. What job? Like, let's talk about it for real. A lot of these jobs with the migrant workers getting their citizenship has to do with the military, nursing, and yeah. It has nothing to do with anything else. Y'all are talking about, oh, they're bringing over these migrant workers and they're taking my jobs. First of all, a lot of y'all don't even want to be farmers to the land you was raised on. You wanted to go do something else. A lot of y'all did not want to work during the AIDS crisis. You did not want to work. You didn't want to do it.
Wake it
There was
up.
a shortage. They had to outsource because y'all said, I'm not doing it. Why are we acting like we're obtuse to what's going on? A lot of these people came over during wartime because you needed their brain to create weapons of destruction. Like, what history book are y'all reading?
I think this social media has really taken place, and people really want to go do their research. You really have to do your research. You have to fact check, and really, I mean, people in the United States, they go off of that shock value. It's all this drama and stuff, and oh, he said this, and oh, he said that. But are you looking at the fine print? Are you really reading? Because they say to hide something from a black person is to put it in a book. And I think that some of us that went out and made certain decisions, when it's time to have to um, deal with the consequences of bad judgment, you made that choice. It's kind of like the saying, you made that bed, so now you got to lay in it. And that's pretty much where I stand on it. You know, um, let us know if you voted. Let us know if you voted out there. Do we have any comments or anything that you want me to read, Couture?
Um, what is your thoughts on education? Because you do have children. How did you feel about that?
Well, education is like number one, and to be facing, it'll be restricted or certain things will be taken away. Because I know that my kids love clubs. One of my kids is in like crochet, one is in like home ec, but they call it like Raymond now. Um, Band. I mean, it would really like mess them up, but I've got to now start figuring out, other ways of educating my children in case we do come to that point where it is um, on the chopping block. It's a scary situation. And, my babies, I have middle school and high school, but, what about those that are just, their kids are just now starting to school and they have like, X amount of years to go. I'm afraid for them. I would just say, just start reaching out to community. I'm just gonna start reaching out to community, maybe tutors and stuff like that, in case I have to put together a village to conduct education and reach
Ooh,
out to
child.
my other counterparts. But it's a lot to think about.
No, it is. Trust me, I saw through the pandemic because, y'all, that's one of the reasons why I chose the career field I am in now. I was like a
Mhm.
teacher. I never dreamt of being a teacher. The teachers are going internationally because it's just getting too much. First of all, you got the students wanting to beat the teachers up. And that was under both presidencies. It wasn't like it was like, oh, that's under the Biden administration. It was under Trump. It was under Bush. It was under
Yeah.
Biden. Like it's not just this all because I remember the bang bang Columbine happened under a very specific regime. Like so, the violence in the classroom has been going on since the 70s.
Mhm.
I think the earliest is the 60s. I'm not for certain. Don't quote me, but mm-mm.
Oh no. Hold on, what was that? CW said fast food may not exist doing along with pilgrims. People are so obtuse.
So obtuse. Yeah, there's a lot on the line. People just think the government, they think automatic welfare, and that goes to show you what type of mentality they have. Like I saw in the comments, they were like, "Oh, Meg the Stallion and them ruined the election." Meg the Stallion did not ruin the election. She encouraged people to go vote. Hence why there was all those young people out there crying this afternoon.
Yeah.
You can
I
see the
mean,
total. It was polar opposite in the crowds,
mhm,
from Donald Trump's crowd to Harris's crowd.
mhm.
And
They
I
were,
was
I
like,
mean, how did you feel about her, leaving them without speaking last night over at Howard?
I wouldn't have spoke either, because you got to gather your thoughts. She probably would have really woke it up. I do feel like she was sabotaged. Hence why, people did what they did. But it's all good. Hey, CW, what are your thoughts?
Hey, like I was saying in the chat, hey, Queen Tulsa, hey everybody. I just was saying, like, I just hope all these rich people that a lot of people have children and they're concerned about their education, and I just hope all these rich people got 4 years plus savings and all. And what's that thing that they do? 529. That's also affiliated with the government. People just don't get it. Fast for Pell Grants, even though Pell Grants is with the state, but the budget that trickles down to your state comes from your federal, then your capital of your state, then it trickles down to locally. That's how they do it. So your local senate and your governor, whatever, handle it. But I just hope all these rich people are ready, even people themselves that want to go back to school. So all these people that want to be nurses and everything, they just swear they got it in the bag. Oh, okay. So maybe you'll finish out this year, but what about next year? How are you going to pay?
Child in blood.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just the ignorance for me, and I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing at I can't believe people really. It was off of one candidate that you said was so this, that, and the third, and then you did a 180, and now the other candidate who you some people truly hated because of a pure aesthetics. That is so ignorant. And I'll keep saying that. A lot of people were jealous. A lot of people, she's educated, she got this life, she didn't get tripped up on the typical things they claim Black women are tripped up on. And another thing, where's the privilege? Remember, women who look like her is supposed to have all this privilege, right? What did I
Oh,
say? What did I say about that? We were talking about those housewife shows.
it doesn't exist.
Thank you. Where's the power? Where's the privilege? I keep saying she just so happened to do what you know what it is. It's like they are the vitriol for her going after her education, making that her priority, making herself a priority. While she was making herself a priority, she met a man, they got married, she didn't get caught up. We're so used to these stories of this struggle and strife. I did this, I had this struggle, then I came out of it. A lot of people are so upset that they can't identify with her. And I find it sad that you voted because of that.
I just think they don't like happy people.
They don't. They don't like successful, happy people. If you're not in a pitfall, if you're not climbing out of the pits of hell, they don't see it for you.
But
They
let's
can't stand
acknowledge
it.
this. Let's acknowledge that this was not her campaign. She jumped in. She had 107 days to bring it all together. And
That's
Three
for
true.
her,
months.
Good
I
point.
mean, the volunteers, just really, and giving it your best.
And Obama did make a good point in the beginning. Some people, because I even sided him for a minute, and then my logic checked in. He said it should be a runoff, and he was right. He was thinking strategically long term. That was in the best of their party and their benefit. They should have had a runoff. And it's just sad because people they wanted her to act like the president when she wasn't. They wanted her to account for everything she did. I can't recall the current president when he was vice president. You didn't question what he did.
Oh, of course not. He's a man. Why would they question a white man?
The border's been an issue. So when coming off the heels of the other mission. So what did he do when he was VP? No one can say. And what were his policies? And the VPs before,
You
what
talking
were
about Mike
Pence's?
Pence?
What was his
Nothing.
policies? He was quiet as kept. You know, people actually blamed her for Joe Biden's so-called cognitive issues and said, well, she was supposed to do something. What was she supposed to do?
No.
He has a cabinet. He has a cabinet.
We just read the duties of the vice president.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Thank you. Because I'm like, they're not kept. You know, Veep is so hilarious because, you know, he doesn't even have to take her calls. And that's true. He doesn't even have to speak to a VP. You never have to talk to them.
But even with
Look
this
at Mike
statement right
Pence.
here, black women, how, oh, let's put that one back up. How many times have y'all, you know, we've been thrown something and we just got to jump in action and make it do what it do? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are, what you say earlier, the fact was there's a high percentage of black women that are smart as hell, that are making stuff happen, and you don't get the credit that you need, right? But hopefully if she does run again, she has a fair start. She can, you know, come through, but we don't know if it's even we're gonna have a other option to vote, because remember he said this gonna be the last time we vote.
Yeah, that could be. But hopefully, if I were her, I kind of would do what Clinton did. Just go. I understand. She said the fight's not over. I don't mean any harm. She's too qualified. I would go to the private sector and get all the money while I can. Come out with my book immediately. I would have publishers cramming at my feet for my book. Do you hear me?
And I would buy it.
What it was like at the end of the presidency, what it was like to talk about what happened, you know, trying to be there for the president.
How the world really views women
in power, intelligent women who, and because what she did was exercise her choices, you know, her choices to be a stepmom.
And shout out to the AKAs. Shout out to the AKAs.
Shout out to our sisters.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, if I were her, I would get on that gravy train immediately. Do you hear me? Immediately. I would be, honey, I would be on my book.
Just
call me Kamala. I would be on my book.
Yes. Doing the absolute most. My thing was this, and this is my final thoughts, and then we're gonna end it here. I always felt like it doesn't matter who the woman is going to be. It's always going to be something. With Sarah Palin, they said she was too dumb. With Hillary Clinton, they kept going back to the 90s, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, y'all will pull down to the deepest pits of hell to hold women accountable for something they did when they were younger. Of course, Hillary Clinton said super predator, but she got that, she was coined that from a man, right? My issue will always be y'all don't like women. Y'all can make it about, oh, it was the policy, it was this. We didn't know. She wasn't talking about anything. Donald Trump, still to this day, has not told us what his economic plan was. You know what he did say? Police immunity, the Alien Act for mass deportation. That means people who are American citizens got their citizenship, got the go. He said the drilling. Where do you think the drilling of the precious minerals and stuff? That's not just in America. He's talking about overseas too, where the girls are dying in the mountains.
We just had a lady die in Texas with her baby and the complications.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So my thing is this: they love to pick and choose, right? But y'all keep voting in these same old, decrepit, white, non-black men who ain't did nothing for the community. Dr. Umar.
I mean, there's no last told.
But yeah, it's just weird. It's weird.
But shout out to JD Vance. Shout out to Donald Trump. Congratulations to them. Shout out to Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, see, that's another point. I'm glad you said that because one thing I didn't like, no matter who you vote for, I don't like all the anti-America government talk. I don't like that. I don't like the anti-American. If you don't like the democracy, then you shouldn't be here. And then you have such, this is such a great country that you have the right to talk to your blue in the face about what you don't like, and you have the right not to vote, and yet you have the right to benefit off of the policies and programs that do get voted for. That's like magic. Where other country can you do that?
Baby, they will behead you in certain countries
Right,
for
like
speaking against their government. Okay.
But our
this is
ancestors
literally a
fought
free
so
country.
hard. Our ancestors fought so hard for us to have this right. And for it just it bothers me to see our people sit up here and say, oh, my vote don't count, this, that, and the third. Well, don't complain. And like this young lady said, you get to benefit off of things that, the people that gave a damn, we voted for that. So now you get to leech off of it. Those are leeches.
Davey,
You're
that's a
leech.
good one. That's a good one. I like that.
Do you think Candace Owens had any effect on the people this time around? I'm hearing more about her after the fact. Did I miss her rhetoric this time? No, baby. She is a troll, baby. Baby, she is the ultimate grifter. Baby, get your grift on, get your shine on, bling, bling, ching, ching, ring, ring, because I will never forget when that man took food out her mouth. She almost had a mental breakdown. Thank God her husband got money in the back end.
That part.
Yeah, I just all these rich people. I can't wait to see all your children graduate from these wonderful prestigious universities and state colleges. I guess it's not going to be a lot of people going to colleges that they would have loved to go into because they probably have to stay in state and go to a public university. That's the cheapest one. But I'm ready for all these people to go to Ivy League schools and all these Northwesterns and Colgates and without the help of the government with the Department of Education.
They must got a library to contribute to.
Even that 529 savings plan. Right. You must go be writing a check for a wing. Are you a donor? Because the Pell Grant and FAFSA may be affected. I just want people to know. That's linked up with the Department of Education, by the way.
Scholarships.
Oh, that's right. Scholarships. You got to fill out like 50 of them. Even get right. All the children are all the children are scholars. Even it's going to be so competitive because children are very smart. It's going to be very competitive. They're probably going to have to create scholarships like if you have a widow's peak scholarship or something. Like it's going to be down to like stuff like that. Like it's going to be crazy.
Cuckoo is like a basa.
Listen here. Speaking of crazy, I see some stuff going on, but this is a great engagement. We will keep it. We'll keep our opinions because opinions are not facts. Isn't that right, Couture Bae?
Yes. And on that note, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye. Thanks for having me up. Bye, Queen.